If you have high blood pressure and you could see the invisible pounding your heart, your brain, and every organ in your body absorbs every day, here's how it would look. Hi, I'm Ken, and there's a reason they call high blood pressure the silent killer. Because even though it's pushing blood faster and faster through every artery, vein, and capillary, pummeling your body day and night, you may not have any clue you have high blood pressure or even feel it until it's too late. It's like you're being slowly beaten to death from the inside out, and you don't even know it until you're down for the count. Oh yeah, and while it's at it, high blood pressure can also ruin your sex drive. No wonder it's also the #1 reason people visit their doctor. And I really wish I could say the fix for this was as simple as making an appointment or popping a pill. My name is Ken Burge, and I'm not a doctor. In fact, until a couple of years ago, I was a walking time bomb for high blood pressure, diabetes, and probably an early grave. Yet my big wake-up call about high blood pressure had nothing to do with me. It all started with my dad, who's 66 and still a pastor in a little town called Monett, Missouri. Now, he and my mom have never even had a family doctor, and the weight had slowly crept up on them. By early last year, my dad weighed 250 pounds, heavy enough for his height and build to qualify as clinically obese. So when my mom read in the paper that a local hospital was doing blood work for people in the community, she insisted they go and get a basic checkup. I'll let my dad tell you what happened next.
And I get in there, and they're looking at me, and they're drawing some blood, and they're weighing me, and they're doing this blood pressure thing. And this lady who was doing the blood pressure thing, she looked at this thing and had a frown on her face and said, "Well, I'm going to do it again. Let me test it again." She did it a second time. And then she said, "Listen, I'm going to go call the head nurse. I'll be right back."
They wanted to make sure the first reading wasn't a mistake, so they had my dad sit and relax in a dark room for about 15 minutes. And when the nurse came back and took his blood pressure for a second time,
and she looked at me to say the truth. She pointed her little old finger at me, little blonde-headed nurse, real nice lady. And I mean to tell you, she got serious. And she said, "Mr. Burge, you could have a stroke or a heart attack before you left this building. As a matter of fact, in good conscience, I wouldn't want you to leave this building. I'd rather you just check in for a few days, Let us watch this a little bit. But I know you're a man, you're probably not going to go for that, but promise me this, you'll walk out of this building, go straight to a doctor, and get on blood pressure medicine today."
Now, my dad had already seen me turning my health around. He had seen me go from overweight, diabetic, and pre-hypertensive to lean, fit, and full of energy in a matter of months. And after that scare, he was ready to listen. You see, there are just a few factors that actually affect your blood pressure. I call them the 7 levers, because moving even one of them can begin reversing years of damage. And activating all of them at once can be nothing short of a miracle for your heart and your health. Now, these 7 levers are different for everybody, and if some of them are stuck in overdrive for you, it's probably not your fault. Anything from genetics to hormones to stress and anxiety can move these levers in ways that shift your blood pressure into the danger zone. The drug companies' cures for high blood pressure aim for these exact 7 targets. And usually they design each drug to pull just one particular lever, like slowing your heartbeat or relaxing your blood vessels. That's why doctors often insist you take multiple blood pressure drugs all at the same time. Of course, again, the trouble is with these drugs, the cure is as bad as the disease. You're asked to suffer in silence with all the side effects of your prescriptions. And the more levers you have out of balance, the more drugs you need, and the worse the side effects get.